And just wanted to mahalo this wonderful group that came out today to support us in putting pressure on the on the House representatives to move forward our bill, HB 955, that is still alive for the rest of next week. They have Tuesday and Thursday to move this bill forward and pass it to the Senate. So we've been here all day and yesterday as well, trying to put pressure and make meetings and connect with these folks so that they can do the appropriate things to move this bill forward. HB 955 is a bill that we had introduced last year, and it is still alive. And so we really wanted to stay alive and move it onto the Senate so that we have a solution to the restrictions on midwifery practices here in Hawai'i that currently exist. We don't want to wait another year or 5 or another task force or any of these other things. We've been here for over a decade and we're tired and we're ready for solutions. So we are just really, really employing all of our politicians to come together in solidarity to choose Pono and to make sure that they are able to protect the rights of Wahine, of our families, our kane, and our cultural and religious protections that are supposed to be guaranteed to us. And so continued erasure of cultural practice is not okay, and that is what is currently occurring with these kinds of laws that restrict us to be who we are in our own homeland. So we're just very grateful. We had a wonderful, amazing turnout of folks from all neighbor islands as well as on Oahu today, coming in to support us in our pule for the highest good and in the session with the legislators today. And so we're so grateful for you folks. We don't have exactly the answers as to what the solutions coming forward through the legislature is at the moment, but we know that this will be a really big week. It's going to be a week that either makes it or breaks it, and so we're really excited, to see hopefully progress after over a decade of fighting for these issues. And so we just wanted to mahalo you folks. I know a lot of you came out, a lot of you wanted to be here, weren't able to make it for all the reasons. We just want to give everybody an update and let you know where we're at. We don't have all the answers yet, but I'm pretty confident that we put really good pressure on them. They felt the people come forward today, and I'm pretty confident we're going to see something good happen out of this. We do have our lawsuit. They're all aware of that. We did have the dads deliver the lawsuits to all the legislature, Senate, and the House yesterday. Also to Seiki, who is the House Speaker, and he has the power to also move HB 955, which we would love for him to do if the Finance Committee doesn't do it themselves. And so we just wanted to mahalo you again, and thank you so much. Anything else anybody wants to add?
Yes, I have something.
Yeah.
HB 955 is actually a solution that the legislators can take to address the constitutional and human right violations that they are being sued over.
Yeah.
So it's an easy solution with amendments that also make grandmas legal, but it's one that they can take, and we hope that they will take it because it will decriminalize and also just save the state from having to go through a lawsuit from the Center for Reproductive Rights and the Native Hawaiian Legal Corporation.
So we love you folks.
It's very important that people do the things that need to be done in the community to continue these practices. Just because they're criminalized does not mean that they're dead or even stopped. So I think that it's very important that people do the everyday work that is involved. Some of that is make sure that you're educated.
Knowledge is power.
A really good place to start is this lawsuit. If you look it up, the Ho'ohanohano versus the state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was just filed this past Tuesday, and it's really an excellent read. It's not difficult to read. It's not difficult language. It's
very
really
simple and clear.
human readable language, and it tells the story of the maternal health crisis that we are in. That this situation is, the context of this situation. So it's very, very important that people read that, they understand. It tells about the history of criminalization of traditional practices, criminalization of indigenous peoples, criminalization of women's practices, all of these things that are all the context in which this situation is. So when we address this, we're not just addressing this one thing about birthing at home and who attends it, but we're addressing much, much more than that. We're addressing a very fundamental shift in power, and it's really important to understand that and to practice those things that are very important within that, such as use the word midwife. Use the word midwife. Not everybody identifies with midwife, but right now, because it's criminalized, remember, it's not criminal for you to use it, right? It's only a criminal offense for an actual midwife to use the word midwife to refer to herself, right? But it is not criminal for me to say, this midwife right here deserves support. I can say that all day. This midwife here deserves support. And that is something, and this midwife here deserves support. And all of these midwives deserve support. It's very important that we use the word midwife, call her midwife, and continue to remember that these practices, we will not accept their BS. Do not accept it. Continue to speak in the way that these things are flourishing, they're living, they're thriving, and we are going to take the power back. And the way that we're going to take that power back is to continue what we do in every way that we do it. There are several steps, several other steps. So just to be clear, again, this Tuesday, the 5th, and this Thursday, the 7th, those are the last two sessions in which any member of the House of Representatives of the illegal state of Hawaii can call this measure back onto the floor, right? And it only, to be very clear, HB 955 only fixes part of the problem, but it's a really important part. So, and they can add more to it to actually fix it, so it actually works. But one way or another, they have until that time, and it's very important in this last little stretch, regardless of what they're going to do, it's very important that what we do is that we hold them to that obligation that they have to their own state, whether we consider it legal or not, and many of us do not, but as people who have taken an oath to uphold that state, that they be reminded of the necessity for any one of those representatives to pull this measure to the floor for a vote by the full House of Representatives, which would then put it back into play. So they have Tuesday session and Thursday session to do that. After Thursday, if they do not, then that measure is no longer a valid option, and the next person who's on the hot seat is the governor. Because the governor of the state of Hawaii, remember that the governor of the state of Hawaii is a medical professional. He's a medical doctor who says that health is very important. So it's very, very important that as the governor of this occupied country, calling itself a state, that as the governor, he has an obligation to see to the health of the people. And if he is causing mothers to potentially die because they didn't have somebody who knew what they were doing, who was legal to attend their birth, then
Because there's no ambulances on the west side.
what she said, right? Then that's not a responsible medical professional thing for a medical professional to do. Not to mention a governor of the
Informed trauma state.
right. He just passed an executive order about how Hawaii is a trauma-informed state, and so we might need to be informed of some trauma that's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, as a medical
So
professional,
we've requested the meeting where we've yet to hear back.
yeah. So that will be the next layer of that. Meanwhile, there's also this lawsuit that is going forward. Please do support all of the organizations who are involved, like Home Birth Collective, Pacific Birth Collective, Malamanapua, Ohawea, and all of the different organizations that are that are a part of this work, and making sure that the people are also supported. There are a lot of things that you can do to just hands-on support these folks. They're in the community, if you're interested in doing this work, I think Christy's got a big pile of stuff that she's so gracefully.
Which I do pass sometimes to you.
Yeah, which she does it
so well.
You could pass it all to others. There are volunteers.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
if other folks want to jump in and get involved, there's lots of stuff. There's actually lots of stuff to do. Ranging from dealing with this pala pala stuff to sharing videos to all kinds of stuff. If you ask, what can be done, there are all kinds of things to do. There are events to attend. There are
Educate.
people to educate. Lots and
Emails
lots
to
to do.
write, calls to make. So call your legislator. Put the pressure on those that you are the constituent of, whatever your districts are. Reach out to them. Put the pressure on. Let them know that this is an important issue and that you want them to support moving through HB 955 to the Senate, and then call your senators and let them know how important this is, so that when it gets there, they're ready to move it through as well.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So, what does this say? It says, call your rep today.
Okay, so basically what we've been talking about, call your rep today, maybe ask them for a quick Zoom meeting for the 7th or a phone call, and just get to know your rep and just talk story. It'd be good to know who represents you and how they feel about this issue, and maybe if they have any questions about it. And then ask them, of course, to vote yes to bring HB 955 to the floor. And the second thing is kind of what we talked about with the governor, asking him to put a moratorium on the bad law, HRS 457J, until the lawsuit against the state for infringing on birth rights can be settled. So those are probably the two basic things.
Sista also reminded us that we have this brief history of defending midwifery on Hawaii. Whose website is this?
That will be posted on the PBC social media page. Pacific Birth Collective will post it afterwards.
And where can they find Pacific Birth Collective?
So pacificbirthcollective.org is an education support and advocacy organization that's based out of Hawai'i, Maui. And we've been doing a lot of support with fire relief and just resources in general for families that have young babies, pregnancy, just trying to create a space for community to come and feel connected and have options in the community where there hasn't been a lot of options. So I just want to say it's been so beautiful today to see the support that comes in for the midwives, because behind every midwife is hundreds of families that they've helped. And so even the few hundred people that were here today, there's hundreds and hundreds more who couldn't be here today. And this is a powerhouse, and it's an election year, so getting to know your representative, and then if they're not listening to you, there's an opportunity for us to fill this house with people who do listen.
Hey, I love you guys. I gotta catch a plane.
Thank you, everyone.
Like,
Till the next time.
Okay. Well, before you leave, wait. You guys sit right there. Can you guys move over and sit in front of them so I can take a picture right there? Okay. Wait. Sit right there for just 1 second. Give me that phone. Sorry. Daniela, you too. Go over there. Go over there. You guys. Go sit right in front of these guys so we can take a picture. Yeah, right there. Aliyah, come.
Lawrence.
Rico. Come. That's so beautiful. Back up. Hey, gotta go first. Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah, he said Oren or Lauren? Oren A?
Yeah. Yeah, we both do it. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Oh wow. Hold on, guys.
Earlier we were doing this one for, like Mona, but upside down for birth.
Hold on, guys. Fellow. You get one from the side. I like this kind of perspective.
Love that.
Style. Get that arm in. Oh, it takes a while, but.
Kukiai mama! Kukiai mama!
all right.
Okay.
Okay. Woo!